Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. MtG here, and believe it or not, the bulk of the content for the Wilds of Eldraine season is already complete. And as we're wrapping up the limited quick draft season for most of us, I thought it would be fun to take a few minutes and do a pack opening. Let's talk about some of the Wilds of Eldraine's cards and what I'm thinking on those and planning to do with them. Please be sure to comment down below, let me know if you agree or disagree, or more importantly, if there's something I'm overlooking altogether. But before we get into all that, thank you to all my new and prior followers on Twitch, helping us get one step closer to affiliate status. And one of those lucky followers picked up 2 starter decks for their arena collection. My next big project here at the Stronghold is going to be to launch a Discord server featuring all sorts of chat channels about deck brewing, meta formats, helping you find a pairing for your own game, as well as channels to simply be social, find help, streaming, and special content. But to make this happen, I'm going to need the help of at least 10 people to step up and make a pledge of $1 or more per month over on Patreon. And hey, for only $1 a month, it's a lot of value, so make sure you're checking it out. And there's even a lot of content there that isn't released anywhere else, even for people who are not supporting on Patreon. Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. Alright, I thought we'd start off on the primary account, and today's anniversary gift was a Core Set 2019 pack. So let's see, that's going way back even for me. And wow, look at that, a first on that, a Horizon Scholar, very nice. What's our rare? Demanding Dragon, actually kind of cool card. Probably would want to play around that in Historic there. I'm going to burn through these 4 packs that I got off the Mastery Pass. We'll start with the Dominaria United here. And what do we get? No first, do get a wild card. And an Elder Dragon War. Okay, we're seeing more of these sagas that make dragons. I kind of wonder if this is going somewhere at some point. Cavalier, probably the best card in this pack as far as playable value in Standard. Let's move to the Brothers of War. And, well, we got a Millstone. Not exactly a first or anything. Oh, but a Feldon. That's a very playable rare right now, so glad to pick that up on the primary account. Let's do a little one action here, shall we? And wow, it looks like we got a mythic upgrade there. Again, a wild card. Vraska's Fall is fairly playable. There's kind of a sleeper deck in Alchemy right now that's using that. And a very first copy of Nissa Ascended Animist. So that's a very cool pickup. That's why you buy the Mastery Pass, is to fill in those cards that you just didn't get the first time around. And what do we got going on here? Well, Valdic and Into the Fire, a card that I have literally never read, and I am going to continue to be able to say that because I'm not going to read it now. I am going to hold my golden packs until I do my second purchase on Wilds of Eldraine. As you can see here, I need to pick up about 25,000 gold, or go 20-25 days or so, and then we'll open those up as a Tier 2 resolution. But for now, what do you say we bust open some 10-pack bursts here of Wilds of Eldraine? And wow, a couple mythics. Beseech the Mirror, we're seeing a lot of talk about that. And Roman, not a card I'm super excited about, but this could make some waves. And Song of Totentons, very nice for the Rats deck. I think we'll be playing around with that. Apprentice's Folly, this could be good. It kind of wants to make a bargain deck, but I'm not sure it's really going to get there. Lord Skitter's Blessing, Godric. I think this is going to be one of those you're going to want 3 or 4 of. I'm not saying spend wild cards on them, but be happy when you get these. It is available to you through some jump-in selections. So make sure you understand which packs are good and which ones aren't. Let's see here. Talon Messenger, another great card that I am looking forward to playing. Mana Flare, very nice for the historic collection. Archon of Wild Rose, Oppression, The End. And boy, we are seeing a lot of talk about The End as well. And let's see, what do we got going on here? Stone Splitter Bolt. Say that 3 times fast. Belligerent at the Ball. There's our Gingerbread Hunter, Curiosity Compulsion, Dark Tutelage, a Picnic Ruiner. This is really on the verge of making red-green. Super silly good. Impact Tremors, Wild Card. What else we got? Intangible Virtue. There's a Monstrous Rage. I think we already have 4 of those, but that's all right. Let's see here. Conceited Witch, pretty good. Sleight of Hand. Another Wild Card. And well, there's a Gingerbread. That's at least number 5 for me. And Harried Spearguard and Ratcatcher Trainee, both excellent cards. Grand Ball Guest, I'm not quite sure about yet, but it could be pretty decent, especially for a 2-drop. And Return Triumphant, this is a card that actually makes Greasefang a lot more budget friendly. So let's go to another burst here. Lots and lots of wild cards. Ooh, 3 mythics this time around. Doubling season. Like it. Wild card and raid pack. So both my mythics from the not the reserved list, the bonus sheet. That's what I'm trying to say. Sleep Curse Fae, that has some potential. Looky there. That's half a playset right there. Food Fight is just really disappointing. At the end, I think we're pretty close to having a playset there. A couple gold wild cards. And Twinning Twins. I'm not sure about this card, honestly. If you got an opinion, throw it down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let's take a look. Of course, that's going to be big in Fae. That's going to be big in Rats. I think this has some potential in any sort of Boros deck. Twisted Sewer Witch, of course, is pretty fantastic. And I don't know if you guys saw the top 3 archetypes, but you see how these just start piling up. You don't really have to worry about drafting those unless it's doing something for your deck. Utopia Sprawl there, we just kind of scrolled by. Some additional wild cards. And Sweet Tooth Witch, gonna be pretty decent there. All right, let's move on to our next bundle here. Oh, looky there, 3 mythics again. Virtue of Loyalty, Moonshaker Cavalry, liking that, and Agatha's Soul Cauldron. I don't know. A lot of people talk about this card. It's just not doing anything for me. Let's see, Goose Mother, very nice. I think, no, that's my first on this account. I have another account that already had 2 that got me confused there for a moment. Waste Not, pretty good. That's going to make some waves of historic. Primal Vigor, of course, very good in the tokens decks. Land, almost always good. And I'm just going to do a fast scroll through, see if there's anything here. Garruk's Uprising, I've already got 4 of those, but now I have the art. Witchstalker Frenzy, going to be really awesome. Princess Takes Flight. I think is the early lead in what deck do you want to see from Wilds of Eldraine. So we might be building with that sooner than later. And yeah, I think most of this other stuff is, well, pretty common. So we'll go ahead and dismiss that. Do us another burst here. And again, 2 mythics. Of course, when you have double rares, Kellen, this might be my third copy on Kellen, or I may be confusing another account. And let's see, Gumdrop Poisoner, very, very solid. That's my first there. Leyline of the Void, that's always a nice thing to have. Lord Skitter, this might be the best budget rare of the set. It's a little early in the season to say that for sure. Here's another contender for that, Spellbook Vendor. But hey, does mono white humans really need more help? I don't know. Aggravated Assault, gotta love that. And Hornlock Whale, just scanning through, there's our girl Ruby. Frolicking Familiar, really solid card. I'm not sure it's good enough to make Is It Good, but it could. I think Hearth Elemental almost does as much for Is It as Frolicking Familiar. Feel free to comment down below and tell me just how wrong I am about that. A bunch of wild cards there, always a fan of that. Of course, I've got about 700, so after a while it just kind of stacks up. Let's do another little grouping here, and I think for this last two we're just going to look at the mythics and the rares here. We're not going to worry about the uncommons and such, but a mythic wild card, that's a good thing. Gruff Triplets, this might make mono green good. I feel like I say that almost every single season, but this has got a lot of potential. But 6 mana's a lot. Let's see what else we got going on here. Sentinel of Lost Lore, I'm just not super excited about. I could be wrong. Lands are generally good. There's another one. There's another one. 3 lands out of 10 packs. That's pretty solid. And this is why I say you don't really have to worry about using wild cards on lands, because you're going to get some in the newer sets, and guess what? These are historic and explorer playable too. There's only a couple types of land that I would even consider. But let's take a look. This is going to be the last burst that I do. I'm going to save that last 5 packs until we will do a 10 pack burst. So just a few days away, really. 3 mythics again, gotta love it. Tortoise, that card could do big things. Will, I'm a little less interested in, and Agatha, I think, is going to be a fairly niche card. Feel free to prove me wrong. Horse Fruition. Another land. And yeah, I think that's where we're at. So some good budget decks getting ready to get brewed up. Be sure to tune in for that. All right, so this is going to be my my 2023 giveaway account, and I'm going to do my first pack opening here. And let's open 10 here in the new style. See what's up here. We picked up a lot of new stuff there, and that looks to be a mythic. Will, all right, not too bad. Copy enchantment, not bad. Pretty happy about that. Hornlock Whale, I think that's a second or third copy. All right, a nightmare. Food Fight is a bit of a waste, but hey. Leyline of the Void is a nice pickup. Lena is not something I'm looking to play with. Farsight Ritual, this could be good. In mono blue, that's something I'm going to have to play around with and find out. Wrinkles Frank, I don't love. Spectre Mortality. Surge Ginger, now there's a card I kind of want to play with in like a mono red or maybe a green-white artifact. And Sentinel of Lost Lore, we'll take that. Impact Tremors, not bad. Collector's Vault, could have done without that. Picnic Ruiner, I think is pretty good. Rainbow Marmot, that's, no matter what it says, that's at least a third copy. I wish it would just tell me here I got 2 of these instead of showing 2 different things. But I guess there's only so much we can expect there. Fairy Fencing is obviously going to go in the Fairies deck. Hatching Plants might be decent. Gingerbread Hunter is a nice addition there. Princess Takes Flight, that's a budget deck I'm kind of kicking around. we'll see how that one ends up playing out. And yeah, we got a lot of commons there. A Ginger Brute, that's a nice one. Anything else here for decks that we're actually running? Quick Study's probably going to go in the mono blue for this year. And, well, wild cards are always pretty decent. There's a Minecart Daredevil I needed. That's pretty sweet. And, yeah, Rat Out will probably make its way into a budget deck this year, too. Let's go to our second burst here. That first one wasn't too bad. Another Mythic. Omniscience, sure. I hope they do a midweek Magic for Omniscience since it got reprinted, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Gruff Triplets, that'll see some play. I'm not sure if this card is actually strong enough to make Mono Green good again, but I'm not saying it's not either. Force Fruition, we got a couple of those on the other account. Wow, 2 Heartflame Duelists, that could be a thing. Wild cards. Twinning Twins. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It doesn't quite fit the Fairies deck. The End, sure. Spiteful Hexmage, that could definitely see some play. Elusive Otter, I've seen some people playing around with that, but I haven't seen anything I'm really impressed either. Restless Vinestalk, sure. Tattered Ratter, that'll see some play. Twisted Sewer Witch, that's something we're going to mess around with. Tough Cookies, another one. Witch's Vanity is a very strong uncommon here. Spellscorn Coven, very strong card for fairies there. Another Princess Takes Flight. I like that. What else we got here that might? Threadmine Click could be decent, especially if fairies goes in like a 3-color sort of direction. I think Stingblade Assassin is better than a lot of people think it is. Sweet Tooth Witch I think is better and limited than a lot of people think it is. Ratcatcher Trainee needed that for a deck. Grabby Giant is starting to impress me more and more. Evolving Wilds is probably a card I did not need. Let's see here. What else? What else is interesting? Another Ratcatcher Trainee. So that probably finishes my playset on this account. So we'll dismiss those and do another burst here. I do like the new visuals. Maybe you always get a Mythic when you bust 10. I don't know. Graveyard Pack, sure. The Goose Mother. Now that's a card I want to play around with. I'm not sure it's strong enough to make the deck good, but we'll see. That might very well be my 4th Spellbook vendor for this account, which is kind of nice. That's going to be a nice strong card. Decadent Dragon is decent. Conquest. Another debut, I got one of those on the other account. Sugar Maw. Lord Skitter's Blessing. Oppression. Archon. Karmic Justice. We got some nice Regal Bunnycorn. That's the card everyone's loving right now. I'm not really sure. A second Goose Mother. Wow, we will take that. Griffin Aries, I think we're probably coming close to a play set on that. Dragon Mantle, Impact Tremors. Gallant Pie Wielder is very nice. Ibidin's Recruiter, I think, is shaping up to be one of the best uncommons in the set. I really thought Twisted Sewer Witch was going to be it, but I think it's a close second at this point. Another Dragon Mantle. I think we're just going to end up with a playset of that just from opening packs. There's our first Ruby, a Tattered Ratter. That'll see some play. Stone Splitter, very great card. Looking forward to playing around with that. Ferocious Werefox has been nice. A Ginger Brute, that's lovely. Gnawing Crescendo for the Rat deck. Another Torch to the Tower for the playsets. I think I'm still one short there. Harried Spearguard. Wow, it says that's my first. I was thinking I had more than that. But hey, that's okay. We didn't do a lot of drafting on this account. Let's go for our 4th burst of cards here. Does the trend continue for 1 Mythic? No, this time we got 2. I guess Arena heard me talk some shit. and a mythic wild card there. I don't hate it. That puts us about almost 300 wild cards altogether, right? Let's see what we got here. Kellen. That's a card that could be decent, and I don't hate it for Brawl either. That might be enough to make the red-white deck from the new player experience playable, but I'm not sure yet. I think you certainly need more than one copy to make that one. Another Decadent Dragon, Hardened Scales. Love adding that to the collection here for this. Nice dual land. Another Shield Hair. Primal Vigor, not bad. Archivist, I don't know. I'm not sure I love that card yet. Journey, not bad. Another Primal Vigor? I kind of like that for the +1/+1 deck. I mean, obviously you can't play it in standards, but Tale for the Ages, sure. Charming Scoundrel, that is seeing a lot of play in the meta mono red. And there's another Recruiter, kind of like that. Curiosity. Dream Spoilers. When you cast a spell during your opponent's turn, up to one target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1. So not bad. I do like Spell Scorn Covered a little bit better in the 4-drop slot, mostly because it has a 3-cast essentially counterspell. Another Tattered Ratter. Ruby, that's going to see some play, I do believe. Another Tough Cookie, Edgewell in our first. Another Spear Guard, Fairy Fencing. All really solid stuff here. Voracious Vermin, glad to get some of that. I think we talked about spells better. So we're going to be pretty close on the mono red deck here. Probably still working on this season's mono blue, but that's all right, we'll get there. Oh, okay. Did we just have one pack left? Is that what happened? Oh no, I just hit one pack. That's what happened. Godric, that's a nice pickup. Very excited about that. So yeah, that's cool. Let's try and do 10 card bursts here instead. Another couple of mythics like that. Beseech the Mirror has a lot of potential. Rotisserie Elemental, I mean, that has a lot of work to do, but I think it's going to get there. Another dual land. Food Fight. Wild card. Sleep Cursed Fairy. This is seeing a lot more play than I would have expected. There's the signpost for our fairies deck. Another Princess Takes Flight. We need that. Lord Skitter. That's good stuff. Greta. So I think that's going to be a solid deck once we get the card selections picked out. Some more good commons there, including a Gingerbrute. That's nice. And I think we got one more burst here. I definitely like this format. No mythics this time, but that's all right. I think we kind of came out above average, and a rare wild card is nothing to sneeze at whatsoever. Raging Battle Mouse, I think that's going to do some work here. Questing Druid is going to be really nice. Sure, Ironcrag. That's a nice pickup, and I think that actually gives me an Ironcrag now on every single one of my accounts. That's pretty nice. Apprentice Folly could be good. This is one of those sagas that's better if you bargain it away. Scalding Viper makes that deck maybe pretty playable. Ferocious Encounter, a lot of people are talking about that. I haven't really made up my mind yet. Not sure if that was going to be good or not. Garruk's Uprising, that's a nice one for this account. On my primary, of course, I already have playsets, so not quite as important. Stone Splitter Bolt, very, very nice. If this went face, I think it'd be one of the best removal spells ever made. But then again, that's why it doesn't go face. 2 Spear Guards in this burst. That's kind of nice. And again, I wish it would just double those up instead of making me look at it twice. I'm lazy. What can I tell you? All right, so there's my first burst on the giveaway account. All right, so I just finished my final September draft for the newest free-to-play account, and I'm going to do the first burst of pack opens here. I've got 20 in total. We're only like 3 weeks into the season here, so let's see what we get. And talk about it. Wow, 3 mythics. That's pretty good, and 1's a wild card. We'll take that. Parallel Lives. Okay, that's a card I will probably play in Historic at some point, and a Kellen. And I think that's my 2nd Kellen on this account. So this is probably where I'm going to play around with that red and white Equipment Matters deck and see if we could actually make it good. Like, if 2 mythics doesn't make it good, I don't know what will. The rares, Gruff Triplets, that's a solid one. Rare wild card. Going back to Gruff Triplets for a moment, this might be an early pick as something that's worth a wild card, but I'm still waiting to see if particularly mono green is worth playing, because triple green in that casting cost is kind of tough, even for turn 6, even if you're ramping. I think this needs to be in a mono green build. Let's see, Oversold Cemetery, sure. Scalding Viper, sure. Rotisserie Elementals, got a little thing to prove there, but it could be pretty good. Sleep Curse Fae is potentially very solid in fairies. I'm just not sure about the tempo aspect of it. And Tangled Colony, that's one we are going to want for the Rat deck. So we're definitely going to have some things to test here. That's very nice. There's our Princess Takes Flight. That's something I'm considering building around for a bargain deck, although I'm not quite sure what that looks like yet. Their financiers, we're all over those. Another Edgewell Inn, 2 Recruiters and counting here, so I think that gives me a play set on this account. Impact Tremors, pretty nice. Curiosity, like that. 3 Bowls of Porridge, very flavorful, all puns intended, but that's about all it's good for. Voracious Vermin, liking that. And what else do we have here? Wildcard, always good. Bespotted Knight, pretty solid. Another Voracious Vermin, Ratcatcher Trainee, solid stuff. Spell Stutter. There's a Torch Tower, I needed that. And Hopeless Nightmare, pretty solid card. I think this actually does some work in some budget Eternal decks. Let's see here. Yeah, alright, so we'll dismiss those. But let's do another burst here. Another Mythic, that's pretty solid. And that fits into our Fairies deck, so that's starting to look good. A land? Okay. I mean, Wrinkle Spring. What do we got there? Not excited about that. Primal Vigor. Now there's a card that might see some play in Eternal as our Be My +1 deck starts coming together in other formats. Ingenious Prodigy, it hasn't really proved itself, and we have pretty easy access to that though through Jump In. Another land, okay, so not doing too well, or too bad rather. Extraordinary Journey, that's a pretty solid card. There's one of our Signposts, one card that's threatening to make green good. Another card threatening to make green good. Impact Tremors, Utopia Sprawl, a Chancellor. I think we've got a full playset on Chancellors now. Two-Headed Giant. It's probably one of those cards that's going to go very nicely with Chancellor. Spellscorn Cavern. I mean, they're starting to call this card broken. I haven't really seen it in action yet, but looking forward to it. Another Signpost. This one I'm not particularly interested in. Prankster might have a slot in the Fairies deck. Another tough cookie. Voracious Vermin, we're bound to have a play set by now. There's a card that might make it into the Fairies deck, at least on the budget version of it. Spell Stutter, that's a solid card, particularly for Fairies. So there we go, that's our packs for today.
And before we go, I want to take just a moment to thank all of my patrons and remind the community when we hit just 10 patrons at any level, we will be rolling out Discord for the entire community, not just paid patrons. So if you have the means or mind to do so, consider supporting our community as it continues to grow. And of course, supporting the community by liking, commenting, subscribing, or sharing our videos is always appreciated.